Hello everybody, welcome to episode 7? Yeah, that sounds right, of the Anting vlog. I'm back in Payson. I was here on episode 4 earlier this year. That was in February. And it was okay. It was not the greatest vlog of all time, but we had fun. We found some stuff. But I'm back today, and it is currently April 23rd, I think? It's late April. Which means that it's a lot warmer. The ants have been developing for a while. You know, their brood is coming along nicely. All that good stuff. And so basically, I'm just expecting this to be better. I think the high is going to be 77 today. It is currently 76 because it's like 12:30, so that makes sense. And right now, I'm in the Home Depot parking lot because right over there, you can't see it, but right over there, there's some good flipping rocks that I've flipped before and have had stuff, and so I'm going to flip them again and see if they still have stuff. And then after that, we're going to go to, I say we're, it's just me today. After that, I'm going to go and take you guys to some more good places in the area, because there's plenty of good anting in Payson. So yeah, that's the plan for today, and I will let you know how it goes. So I'm not sure as to where exactly the nest is, but right next to where I parked on this little thing, natural thing in the parking lot, there's a whole bunch of Myrmecocystus workers running around. So their nest must be on this guy somewhere. As to where, I'm unsure, but 2 seconds in and I'm already finding ants. So I think that is a good sign as for what is to come. Under the very first rock, we have some Camponotus, festinatus-group. There's a major right there. And as you can see, there are pupae, which means that the ants are in fact developing nicely. It even looks like they've got some late larvae. So that's cool. It's a big colony. No queen, but yeah, very first rock, we've already got ants, and yeah, like I said before, they're in development, so that is a good sign. Nothing under there. I want to today do some of that where I start filming before I flip the rocks. You get a more genuine reaction. And actually, I just looked up and look what we have here. This is definitely a Pogonomyrmex nest. And it does seem like it is still inhabited because these holes are open, but there are no workers out just yet, it seems. I wonder if it's not warm enough for them. So yeah, look at that. It's pretty large too. It's always a pretty clear indication of pogos is when there's just a big old clearing of gravel with no plants. Yeah. So it looks like under this big old pine tree we're gonna have a pretty large Formica gnava colony. There's one little chamber under this rock, but if you notice, there's moved earth here, appears to be a nest entrance. There's some upturned soil here. Over here, there's a nest entrance. So I betcha every single one of these rocks, or at least most of them, yeah, is gonna have some Formica. Oh, and there's a Camponotus semitestaceus major. That's certainly odd. Where did you come from? Interesting. Because, yeah, she was just right there. I wonder if she was just foraging. Oh, yeah, there's their colony. Look at that. Wow. They've got those elates. And then all this brood. It seems as though their real queen is not on the surface. I wouldn't take her even if she was. This colony is enormous. But yeah, wow. I bet she's not on the top just because this is it's in the shade. So like really you can actually see where the sun is hitting is where they've got all their larvae. And then the spot that's in the shade has almost nothing. That's incredible. Nice. So under this rock, it's probably, oh no, it's not too hard to see them. We got these little Pheidole that are probably Pheidole bicarinata, if not a closely related species. Just some little teeny tiny polymorpha group Pheidole. Like here, let me... They are small, but not too bad looking. Oh, it's just a leaf. We'll probably still be able to see her. I almost missed them. I flipped this rock and I was looking at the other side. She's trying to get in the hole, but there's the queen of this Pheidole. It is different than the other Pheidole that we found. It is not that CF bicarinata. It's a fallax-group instead. And you can see, oh, queen came out for a second, but I think I was focused on something else. But you can see they've got a good amount of brood, even some on the bottom of the rock here. And the queen was there. I'm not going to collect her. There she is. She's just hiding in a little hole. As I said, not collecting them. I'm going to leave them be. But yeah, it's always nice to find Pheidole queens. Formica gnava swarm. Let's just say that they're not exactly happy with me having flipped their rock. There's no brood or queens at the surface here though, which is quite intriguing. Still, look at them go. Check this out. We got a queen of one of those Camponotus festinatus-group colonies. I actually think I am going to collect her because I don't have any Camponotus festinatus-group right now. And just look at her. She's really pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna go collect this colony really quick, and then I think that'll be about it for the Home Depot parking lot, and we'll move on to our next area. We have arrived to the Shoofly Village Indian Ruins. It's not the greatest name because the ruins are kind of just a pile of rocks. I'll show you if I go over there. But we're here, and I showed you driving in that it's very flat and grassy here. And you might think that that's not the best for ants. I mean, here exactly, it's a little bit more treed up, which is good. But there are actually some pretty interesting ants here, and I'm sure that we will find them very shortly. One of them being Pogonomyrmex huachucanus, which I found in the last vlog. This is the spot where I have found the most of them. They are everywhere here. I found them elsewhere a few times. Like I said, I found them, a couple colonies at Madera Canyon in the last vlog, but they are just everywhere here. So stay tuned because we will find some and I will show them to you. However, I want to do something, and that's something that I want to do is I want to find a good rock and I want to flip it on camera. So let's do the first rock. I was looking at this one, but it's kind of in the shade, so I'm not really expecting much from that one. Same over here. Like, these are good, they're good rocks, but they're in the shade. This one, partially in the shade, we'll see about that, but I'm looking at probably this one. So let's go ahead, give her a flip, and see what comes crawling out. Oh, we got ants. Yeah, big old Pheidole colony. Look at all that brood. We got some termites right next to it. I'm sure they're eating those. Well, sweet. There you go. First rock. Got a pretty big Pheidole colony. Nice. We have another just massive... I mean, well, this one is the biggest so far. Camponotus festinatus-group colony. And the queen actually is here. She ran under the rock. I don't want to crush her. But there... I was gonna grab her for the video, but she got away from me. I think she's down in this grass somewhere. Well, I'm gonna leave them be and hope that they can find her wherever she ran off to. But yeah, we got a nice Camponotus colony with the queen. I don't think that I managed to get her in the frame. And actually, look, there's a little bit of a Crematogaster chamber right here next to him. That's kind of funny. Got some neighbors going on. So we have found our Pogonomyrmex huachucanus. There's a guy with eggs right there. Big old thing of eggs. And the rest of them are down here. Oh, I see the queen. I saw her at least. Where'd she go? There she is. What a beaut. But this is kind of interesting because you normally don't find these guys under rocks. They normally have freestanding nest entrances. So this is pretty cool. So, as you can probably tell here, I did end up collecting that colony. And I want to actually talk a little bit about their biology, because these guys are pretty interesting, and I never actually explained in the last vlog why they're so interesting. These guys they get pretty small colonies for Pogonomyrmex. They get around 500 workers at maximum sized. They also have brachypterous queens, which means that they are born with non-functional tiny wings. So they're not ergotoids. They do still have wings. They're just non-functional. And they do actually shed them after mating. And for their mating, they don't actually have proper nuptial flights, but instead the males, which are fully winged, fly and chase around the flightless queens that are just running around. And so that's how they disperse, actually, is on foot. The queens will just run around. And that usually means that these guys have a pretty high colony density in a given area, because not only do the colonies not get very large and they don't take up very many resources, but the queens are also unable to disperse as far. And so it ends up being an area that's suitable habitat for them. Will have a colony about every 5 feet or so. Now, these guys are also fairly interesting as they're in their own species group. Pogonomyrmex huachucanus group is them and them alone, just because of their fairly unique stature. These are a small Pogonomyrmex, probably about 5 millimeter workers and queens. Queens are 5.5 or so. But unlike Pogonomyrmex pima group, these guys are morphologically different in that they're more similar to Pogonomyrmex barbatus group in shape, but they aren't. We've got our queen. You can see her right there. She's come to the top to say hi. I will get these guys in a little bit less cramped of a setup when I'm done talking here. But yeah, it's about all I've got. These guys are some pretty interesting pogos, though, and I'm excited. I already do have a colony of these guys, but I want two, because if I can get them both to make alates, because of the way that they do their nuptial flights or nuptial walks, as I like to call them, it's probably pretty easy to breed these guys in captivity. And so I really want to try that. So now I've got another large colony to go along with my current one, and we'll see how that goes. It's funny because I said that I don't find these guys under rocks very much, and yet here's another colony. But the real reason why I'm filming is, look at this. Big old Crematogaster brood pile. This is a fairly common sight here, although I actually haven't seen any today. I think it's probably just a bit warm for these guys. There's even some more brood up here. Like I said, it is about 77, 78 degrees, and, well, this place is very open, flat. You know, not a whole lot of shade or cover from the heat here, so it does get pretty warm. Ground temps and under the rocks and stuff gets pretty toasty, but still pretty cool. Check it out, guys. Big old Scolopendra polymorpha. That's my pinky, so I mean, the thing is probably 4.5 inches, maybe 5. So I'm gonna try and get it out of its thing here, and we're gonna try and catch this. Big guy acquired. I've got the lid peeled open like this because these containers are not very see-through. You can get an idea that he's in there. But yeah, this is a big guy. Like I said, probably 4.5 inches, if I had to guess. Yeah, big old centipede, nice. Here we have our good old friends, Liometopum luctuosum. These guys are, if you don't know, they're a dolichoderinae that's related to Taponoma. They're polymorphic. You can kind of see that they've got different sized workers. And they got huge colonies. They trail all over the place. These guys just have a group of workers under this rock at the base of this tree. But this is not an actual nest of theirs. These guys have, they make tons of satellite nests that are basically just full of workers that sit there. And the main nest is probably in this tree somewhere, if I had to guess. And if I looked, there would probably be trails up this tree. Maybe not now, but at some point in time, they're probably going up and down this tree all the time. But they're pretty cool. I do have a colony of Liometopum apiculatum, which is sort of the big brother of this species here. But these guys are still pretty cool. I like the way they look too. They're silvery gasters and whatnot. So I'm leaving Shoofly Indian Ruins. As you can tell, the vlog is not over because I'm not leaving Payson just yet. I've only been here for like 2 hours. And even though I've had a very successful 2 hours, I think I'm not done looking yet. So I'm moving on now to another pullout along this Houston Mesa road. And we are going to see what we find next. This area is a little different. It's more forested and it has some water. And so we'll probably end up finding some different stuff. And so, yeah, guess we'll wait and see, huh? We have arrived. And you can see that water flowing down there. So, it's interesting. The soil here is different. It's a lot finer, a lot sandier. And, so I guess we're gonna see what that entails. And we're gonna get looking, but just appreciate this area for a second. It's pretty nice. The very first rock, we have yet another pretty large Scolopendra polymorpha. Cool, big guy. Now this is weird. We have a Camponotus sayi winged queen. If it wants to focus, that'd be awesome. But she was under this rock, like this huge rock. Just this one lone queen, no workers or anything. And I'm very confused because this is a wood nesting species. So I don't know why she would have been under a rock. And it's not like they're flying this time of year. These guys fly in the summer. So I have no idea what's up with her. I don't think I'm gonna... I don't know. I guess I'll take her and just see what she does, if she makes a colony or not. But yeah, super weird. This is a little spooky. Found a wasp queen under a rock. Doesn't look like she started making a nest yet or anything. And thankfully, she's either too cold or doesn't feel like attacking me right now. So she's just sitting right there. But look at that. Pretty cool and scary. Check this out. Huge Pheidole colony of those bicarinata again, or bicarinata lookalikes. The queen was here and very fat. I got some pictures of her that I really hope turned out. So if they did, I'll try and throw those up on screen. But look at just all this brood. I wouldn't have collected them anyway. I've kept this species before and I'm not particularly a fan. But still, very impressive colony. Well, this is fun. I just found a Formica gnava queen under a rock, completely alone, no workers. Which means that she must have flown late last year and overwintered. Yeah, cool. Got myself Formica gnava. So just here, right in the middle of the path, we have a nice Dorymyrmex bicolor colony. Which, if you know, is definitely one of my, I wouldn't say necessarily one of my favorite species, but I have a colony of those guys, and they're really fun to keep. So, if you guys end up with a queen of those or a colony of those in your possession, consider yourself lucky, because they're a good one in captivity. I'm going to leave these guys alone, of course, just because I've already got a colony, and digging them up is, it probably wouldn't work. This soil is very rocky. It's probably very hard to dig in. So we're leaving them alone right here in the middle of the path. Just let them do their thing. So here, right next to this rock, we've got a big old pogo colony again. Except these guys are actually active. Something, occidentalis complex. I'm not sure if they're actual occidentalis or if they're just related. But, yeah, they're actually doing stuff, unlike that other colony that we found down in town. Not exactly sure why these guys aren't and those weren't, but yeah, there they are, doing their thing. Now, this is what I'm talking about. We got just tons of Crematogaster brood, and on the rock we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 queens. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 queens. I can count. Look at me. Just awesome. I'm not going to collect these, but That is what I'm talking about. Look at all those eggs right there. This is the Crematogaster that I'm used to seeing up here in Payson. So everyone, I'm leaving the third stop of the day, and I'm gonna at least take a break. I'm not sure if I'm gonna call it. I guess you'll know by the timing that the video is, depending on the length. If there's 5 more minutes left, I've probably decided to do other stuff. If not, you get the idea. But one way or another, I am gonna stop for a second and just get some food. I'm feeling hungry, and there's like a dairy place or a creamery in town that I bet, I've never been, but I bet it has fire milkshakes. And I know that they have milkshakes, and I bet they're amazing. So that's where I'm going to be going for lunch, or at least to get a milkshake. I might stop somewhere else if they don't have actual food there. I will have to stop and see. But either way, I'll do that, and then either that's the end of the vlog, or we'll continue. And like I said, you'll know, and I'll do a proper goodbye if it is the end. So we'll see how I'm feeling, but today has been very successful. I mean, I got some Camponotus semitestaceus brood for my colony because they're not doing too amazing. For some reason, out of hibernation, the queen just isn't wanting to lay eggs. Like, she's laid a couple, but not doing amazing. So I'm gonna brood boost them a little bit. And then I got the Camponotus festinatus-group guys that I think that they might be festinatus or pudorosus. I will have to look into that a little bit more later, and I'll probably put it down in the or subtitle on the video about what they actually are. So I got those guys. I got the Formica gnava queen. I got the Pogonomyrmex huachucanus colony. I got a baby tarantula that I didn't end up filming just because it's not that interesting. And then I got a bunch of Scolopendra polymorpha that you might actually see available for sale on my website. I have other morphs of the polymorpha available on my site, but it's a different morph here that I haven't collected really before. So there's a chance that you'll see those for sale. So if you want one, you know, you see what they like in this video, and pretty much all the ones that I got are pretty big. So if they do end up on the site, you know, you're gonna be getting a pretty decent sized one. Anyways, that's it for this clip. Like I said, I'll say goodbye if that ends up being what it is. So yeah.